Okay, I love this idea, this aha, this insight, this creative spark I just had of making a video, a film about the joy of that visit to Chicago in 1984 and all the tapping those blissful emotions and feelings and sensations I experienced in that trip. And we did things like go downtown, and I remember the grandeur and mystery and awe, the awesomeness of that magnificent downtown, the canyons of some of the tallest buildings in the world, and tall and elegant, sleek, black, carbon black structures. John Hancock Building, and of course the Sears Tower, which is no longer the Sears Tower. Willis Tower, I believe it's called now. And then going up to Monroe, Wisconsin, driving out there, and having my camera the whole time. I had this little tiny film camera that I had to wind up in order to shoot about 30 seconds of footage, and then I had to wind it up again, and then it was 3 minutes total per reel of film. And I filmed a lot of stuff out there. I remember the elephants humping in the zoo and everyone laughing and pointing. I was like, oh my god, that's so funny, because they just looked playful. I didn't know they were having sex. But indeed, if you look at this footage, you can see, yeah, there's something sexual going on there. But then driving out to Monroe and creating this, in this beautiful space of green lawns and giant lush trees, creating these little time-lapse animations of what Norman McLaren pioneered, which he called, what's it, animation, people animation, he had a name for it, not pixelation. I'm going to think of the name of it, but there I was creating this stuff, and the eagerness, the feeling of shooting something, trying something on film, right, a technique of this people animation thing, the Norman McLaren term, he had a term for it, but there's this giddy eagerness about filming something, a time lapse of people, animating our humans sliding around the grass, and then wondering what it's going to be like, this sense of wonder, ooh, look at this is going to be cool, and then having to wait days and days till vacation was over. I collected all these reels of film on that Chicago trip, and then waiting days to get home, and then you had to take it to Gemco or Target or wherever at Gemco, I think it was where Soggy's, the little camera shop in Torrance, Gardena, where I developed the film, and it took like a week to get it developed, and then the anticipation of going, the joy of going to the camera store to pick up my film, the sense of anticipation was through the roof, and then taking those reels of film home and looking at them, carrying those bags of film home, these little plastic paper envelopes with these reels of film that you can now hold up to the light and look at the images. When you take a film, of course, there's nothing, you can't look at it because the light would destroy what you shot. It would just wash it out. So you had to protect, you couldn't look at it. Even if you did look at it in a dark room, there's nothing to see because it's just like whatever light, how it interacts with the chemicals. So there's a process that takes to develop it. But then coming home with those, sometimes I would ride my bike to the camera shop. It was before I could drive. And then picking it up and taking it home and setting up the projector in a dark room. Oh, wow. Closing the blinds. Oh, the sense of anticipation greater than that, which is, or equivalent in a different way, of like a Christmas morning feeling, wanting to open presents and waking up and seeing all the presents under the tree. It's that same kind of anticipation, but in a different quality, a sense of mystery. What's going to be on that film that I watched? So I put the projector on, turn the projector on, and run that film, thread it through the spools and the gears and the little teeth that pull the film through, and then the turning on of the projector, and the high-pitched whir of the machine that is the projector, and then the sound of the film flipping through the gate, and watching for the first time what came up. And each roll was 3 minutes, so it's this 3 minutes of bliss, of anticipation, of wonder, wondering what's going to be on there, and it's so great. And so all that is embodied in this trip to Chicago, all those feelings. And that's the same trip to Chicago when I walked into a camera shop and saw in the case, the glass case, the counter, this beautiful black Bauer S207 XL Super 8 movie camera, and I knew that I wanted it. And just wanted it, and I found a way to get it. And the anticipation, looking at the brochure of the camera and the different types, and taking that home with me to California, and sending the check in the mail, the certified check and the money order, and placing the order via mail, waiting weeks for it to arrive, and when it arrived at my house, and opening that box weeks later after the trip to Chicago, and shooting my first reels with film on that new camera. Oh, the feelings, the sensations of that creative experience, that flow, the anticipation, the eagerness, the fun, the reward, satisfaction, and then putting those clips together into a longer narrative. All that, it's just an amazing process, and so that's what I'm reliving here in this moment, and here, and that's it. So, rekindling those feelings and sensations now, years later, is magnificent, and I'm feeling more and more of these lately, and I love it, and it is the essence of a good life right there, living in those states of mind and emotion that are so blissful in many different ways. The diversity of each one of those thoughts and memories and the feelings that each conjured is so magnificent. I mean, just God, everything from talking to Grandma and Grandpa, and the jokes that they played, and the games we played, and eating Jelly Bellies for the first time, and seeing the squirrels hopping on the fence in Chicago when there were no squirrels where I grew up in Torrance, and so seeing squirrels running around the streets, the beautiful tree-lined streets of Chicago, whatever neighborhood that was, Rogers Park or something like that, walking to the store with Grandma, getting on the bus with Mom, and taking it downtown, getting on the L, and the sound of the click-clack of the L on the train, going up into the Sears Tower and looking out, and doing a time-lapse from on top of the Sears Tower. All those magnificent memories. Wow. So much good, so much fun, so much bliss, and each memory powerfully unique, powerfully uplifting,